Hello, hello, welcome back to Carissa Reads Books, where we talk about books, and more books. So today we're going to be doing what I read in June and May, because I never did one for May, so we're just going to combine all of them. And it honestly shouldn't be that long, because I didn't read that much in June like I thought I did, because I was just super busy, which is why I never got to film the reading vlog for May either, because I left on the trip and was gone for some weeks, and I just did not get a chance before I left. So we're going to combine all of them. And honestly, it's not going to take super long, I don't think. I don't know. I always think that. But then the last video I did, where we did the chaotic Goodreads reviews, yeah, I did not expect that to be a half hour. I expected it to be like 10 minutes. So we'll see. So this is my Goodreads profile. So if you want to be friends with me on Goodreads, because I love having other book friends and seeing how y'all are doing on your book challenges, go find me. I believe I have a link tree also linked to my YouTube channel, and my Goodreads also. I know it's in the link tree, but my Goodreads also might be separately. So you can. All right. So in my April reading, what I read in April reading video, I left off at City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and then the next book I read after that was City of Ashes, which is in the same series, the Mortal Instruments series. I gave this a 4-star rating as well. And I believe that I said in that video I thought the City of Bones was overhyped. I think that was the same for this book too. I also thought it was overhyped. It wasn't bad. It was good. I liked it, but it's very overhyped for what it is. But again, I liked it. I might consider reading it again. Although I do have more. I do have more to say because I just finished the 4th book in the series the other day, so I definitely will probably end with that if that's the last book I finished, I think. And so I will have more to say then. So after that, I read Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. That threw me off the first time. I know when I did the Goodreads review, I also did a section for this book because that was one of the books I'd finished before that, during that video, like right before that video. I gave that a 4-star review. I thought it was pretty light and funny, annoying at times, and a little but overall, I thought it was pretty funny. I may or may not read it again, though. I don't know. I think once might be enough. I do want to read the book 2 in the series that's coming out, if it has not come out yet, and that's going to be Cursed Crowns. So I will read that, and you'll probably hear more information on that at some point. But Twin Crowns, 4 stars, not bad, not great, funny at times, annoying at times because one of the main characters, who annoyed me quite a bit, although she was annoying but funny because she was very, if you've read the book, she's like, who I'm talking about, but she was very stuck up at first, but then she keeps getting put into different situations where she obviously has to change a little to adapt to the situation. So that's kind of funny, but again, also annoying. All right, so the next book I read was a 4-star review, and it was Blade of Rating review. We're just gonna leave it at that. But it was Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levenseller, who I think's most known for her Daughter of the Pirate King. Well, I almost said Queen duology. The second book's Daughter of the Siren Queen. I usually get them flipped because they're long and they sound cool. Anyways, I read that. It's the first book in a duology, which I will talk about in a little bit because I did read that too. But I thought it was meh. I may not read it again. Who knows? I liked how adventure-y it was, and there's some cool world building elements, especially with the magic. And the main character's magical swordsmith, which I thought was really cool when reading, but also the events in the story were just not oh my gosh, cool, this is so cool in your face. is just kind of, okay, that happens. But there's some things that are cool. I feel like most of them to me were but overall I'd give it 4 stars, because I really was into it while I was reading, and I didn't want to put the book down. So I think I read it in like a day. Yeah, because I had like this huge event, and then I got home, I got a tub of ice cream, and I ate the small. It was a small container, okay. Um, but I ate the ice cream while reading this book, and so it was a great way to spend my afternoon slash evening, and I really did not want to put this book down, nor the ice cream. So the next book is a 5-star rating that I gave it. I already did a reading vlog for the first book in this duology, and so that was the King of Scars reading vlog, and I meant to do a reading vlog for this book, Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, but I did not get a chance. Although keep an eye out because I may do one for Legend. Who knows? I started reading it last night, and then after this, I may start going on that. At least I'll do a review video for it. But I'm pretty into it for now. But this is not about Legend. This is about Rule of Wolves, and I gave this a 5-star review because while I was sick, who cares about thick books? Okay, I read a lot. Although my sister was appalled at the size of the book. She does not like to read. She was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so big." Anyways, I really liked it. Besides, I wasn't that into Nina's point of view as I was in the previous book. So I didn't like it as much. I did love like Nikolai and Zoya's point of view a lot. That was what got me, although I don't want to say so. It'd be spoilers if I said there's 2 characters too as well that were in there that I really liked from previous books. And so I was very excited when they made some appearances, and it was in their point of view. So that was one of the reasons I was their point of views. So I was a little biased, but I still enjoyed their point of views a bit more. Overall though, I was still into the book. I still kept reading it. And I thought it was worth 5 stars in my book, in my opinion. So I would recommend reading it. Although again, like I said in the King of Scars reading vlog, before you read the duology, make sure you read Shadow and Bone, and then the Six of Crows duology, or you're gonna be confused. Yay, we have another 5-star rating up, and I think I reviewed this book as well, but I never put the review on Instagram, so I may do that soon. Who knows? I don't know. I have the review on Goodreads, and I'm probably just gonna read it to you guys. But 5 stars, Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is like my hero. Just kidding, that's Rebecca Rouse. Maybe they can tie. I don't know. They're both so good. And I really like the Mistborn trilogy. If you've ever read that. Alloy of Law is from the Wax and Wayne series, but that's a spin-off of the Mistborn trilogy and comes right after. Takes place like 300 years later. And it is so cool. It's like law enforcement, outlaws, cool gunfights. It's insane. It is insane, and I love it. But anyways, I thought the dialogue was hilarious. It was very typical Brandon Sanderson banter, which I love in his books. And it was very easy to read, very quick, and very hard to put down because there's just so much action and so much humor that went along with the action, and a little investigative side too, because I do study and have a degree in criminal justice, which is always very interesting to me when they're incorporated in books. And I was thinking about doing like some book recommendations where it's like law enforcement. So this will definitely go on there. Definitely go on there. So anyways, it was enjoyable, had great humor. Do read the Mistborn trilogy before this. Because you could read it without reading the Mistborn trilogy beforehand. There's like a few references to things that happened before, a few characters in the Mistborn trilogy. But overall, you probably don't really need it. But I'd say read the Mistborn trilogy first, just so you can see the little mentions of other characters and laugh at that. I already told you all about how I felt about Blade of Secrets, and the next book I read after that was Master of Iron, which is the second book to the Bladesmith duology. I give this one a 3-star rating. I did not like it as much as the first one. I felt like it was not as adventurous, and honestly, I can't really remember the story overall, which is weird because I can remember like the first book very clearly. And so obviously, I don't think I was into it as much. I do remember, reading through the book fast, but I don't think that was because I was sucked into the adventure. That was just because I wanted to get to my next read. But 3 stars for me is neutral. I'm sure there was stuff I liked about it. I just did not write it down. So this sounds so negative, but I don't think it is, again, give 3 stars. That means neutral to me at the time. And so maybe in a bit I can do like a reading vlog where I go back and read the duology and then give my thoughts then. I don't know. All right, so we have another Shadowhunters book from the Shadowhunter series. And that's the third one, City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I give this 4 stars as well. And again, it's like the other books. I think the series is just overhyped on Bookstagram, BookTok, and BookTube. Overall, because it's not bad. It's just very overhyped and raises your expectations, so you think it's something that's awesome. So many people are raving about it, but really it's not that special. It's good and it's interesting, and it has like the dark vampire slayer vibes, if that makes sense. It's like Castlevania kind of vibes. And I really liked some of the, I don't know, the little side quests in this book, I guess. But overall, yeah. The Shadow Between Us is something I've heard good things about. That was a 3-star book at most. I almost gave it 2 stars, but I felt generous that day. It was not super great. I don't think I'll ever read it again. It was short. It was very short. But like, I can't really tell you what the plot line was at all. I can't. I think I liked the setting and some of like the character details. And then maybe I can't even remember why I gave it 3 stars. So it's kind of like her other book, the other book. I literally just Master of Iron. It's like I literally just told you guys my review from that, because it's by the same author. Yeah. I mean, if this is your kind of read, it's your kind of read, and that is great. But this is not my kind of read. So 2 books I read after that were Girl Defined by Kristen Clark and Bethany Beal, and Love Defined, which are 2 Christian books by the both of them from Girl Defined Ministries. And I really enjoyed them from my Christian perspective. Obviously, they're nonfiction and stuff. They're real, and they're very gospel and biblical based. So if you're a Christian like me, I'm a Christian girl like me. Sorry, let me clarify. These 2 books are for women. I would recommend reading those. They're really good. Next was a reread, and it was Eragon. It's so good. Eragon is so good. Always going to be 5 stars. And I'm always amazed at the world building versus how young the author was when he wrote it. Yeah, it's very good. I love the dragon riders and the characters. It's just so good. It is so good. It is up there on my book list. It is right up there on my favorites. So if you have not read this book, or have never heard of it before, go look it up. Go read it if you like fantasy and dragons. And it's so good. So good. The second to last one's also another book for Christian women. So if you are late high school to beyond, I would recommend this book. I gave it 5 stars again. And it's by Mary A. Cassian, who is a Canadian Christian speaker and author. I don't know if you've ever heard of Revive Our Hearts. She's done stuff on that radio program. Anyways, this book's called Girls Gone Wise in a World Gone Wild. And I thought that was a very insightful book. And it goes through comparing the Proverbs 7 woman, I think it's Proverbs 7, that is the woman of folly, to a godly woman and making those wise choices and how to be this wise, godly woman. All right, our final read. I don't know how long I'm going to spend ranting about this one. I'm not going to rant. Okay, I'm not going to rant. But it's City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. So the fourth book in the Shadowhunter Chronicles series. I gave this one 3 stars. I gave the other one 4. The first 3, 4. Gave this one 3. And honestly, I'm not really sure how this one really matches the first 3 books, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how it fits in, how it really ties in. Like, there's things that tie in, yes, but like, how it overall relates to the plotline of the first 3 books in the series. So I did not like this one as much. Obviously, there are things I liked about it. It was very consistent with like the vibes given to readers. I don't know what to call it other than the vampire hunter vibes and the dark vampire hunter vibes that I really liked, and like shadowy cathedrals and stuff. But I'm still not certain about how it ties in to the first 3. Maybe I gotta read the 5th book for it to make more sense. So we'll see. I'll get back to y'all on that. But yeah, that's what I thought about it. So I definitely will read the first 3 if I ever get a chance, because I thought they were good, just overhyped. But like the 4th one, I might skip depending on what I think about the 5th one.